Okay, example 11, a car was purchased for $16,500, assuming the car depreciates at a constant rate of $2,200 every year, which is called straight line depreciation, for the first 7 years. Write the value V of the car as a function of time and calculate the value of the car 3 years after purchase. So, they want V to represent the value of the car as a function of time, and we usually use the letter T to represent time. All right? Initially, the car costs $16,500, right? That's its initial value. That's what it starts off at. Every year, we're going to lose $2,200, losing a subtraction. Okay, so to establish a cost of this car after any given amount of time, we take how much the car was worth to begin with, we subtract the depreciation amount times the amount of time it takes. So if T is 1 year, 2,200 times 1 is $2,200. Take away, you get $14,300 after 1 year. Next year, take away $2,200 and so on. All right? And I'm going to put V of T equals whatever letter you're using to represent the outcome. You put that letter of whatever the independent variable is. All right? And it says for the first 7 years. All right, so what that's telling us is this function's only alive for 7 years. After that, all bets are off. So I'm going to put comma. Then I'm going to define my domain based on what they're telling me. The domain's all about T. I'm saying that 0 is less than or equal to T is less than or equal to 7. So starting from it, it's on the lot. That's 0 years that you've owned it. Through 7 years you've owned it. That's when the function's alive. So a good function of this variety, you've named it properly, you give me an expression that represents the answer, and you give me a domain if there's a domain that's reasonable. If there's no domain necessary, leave it alone. But I can put any number in for T. This is restricting T only to the first 7 years. All right? A lot of times that's all they ask you to do. Give me a function that represents this. Okay, this one specifically though says calculate the value of the car 3 years after purchase. So what they're asking me is what does V of 3 equal? So we take 16,500, subtract 2,200 times 3. We can do this because 3 lives in the 0 to 7 interval. Right? So 16,500 minus 6,600 comes out to $9,900. And if it was 3.5 years, then it would be, again, straight line depreciation. Then it would be half of the depreciation for that half a year, so $1,100 less at that point. So $8,800 after 3.5 years. So it's not one of those step functions, it's a straight line. So your cost is here. As time passes on, the value goes down in a straight line. So you can figure out the amount of it no matter how old it is for that given 7-year interval.